Getting views is cool, but you know what's better? Turning those views into people walking through your door. Today I'm showing you the exact system that turns people from scrolling into customers, and the process is a lot simpler than you think. Social media isn't your problem. Your problem is invisibility. Social media is just a tool that solves that specific problem. It gets attention from the right people and positions you as the obvious choice in your neighborhood or city. That's it. And before you even think about posting a piece of content, you need the foundation. Who are you talking to? Why should they care? What makes you different? If you skip this, everything is going to be inconsistent and not fully aligned with the people you actually want to target. I made a whole video breaking down this foundation framework. It's linked in the description. The fastest way to get views is to study what's already doing very well in your space and make it your own. The goal here is not to copy word for word, but to learn the strategy and understand the framework of creating content that goes viral. What's the first 3 seconds look like? What hooks do you use? How do you frame it? Understanding the skill of creating viral content will allow you to then make your own unique content that aligns fully with your brand and can still go viral to the right people because you know the frameworks. You know what it takes to make viral content now. And like many things in life, social media is a skill, which means it can be taught and learned. You don't have to be born a genius at social media. All you need to do is put in the reps and make it a habit to study the skill of social media day by day. And just like you learn how to walk, you'll learn how to create social media content that ultimately builds your brand and gets you customers. So when it comes to researching your top competitors that are doing very well with their content, you want to make time to focus on this. I'd say maybe an hour or so just researching the best performing content from them, organize it all into a Google Sheet, and to start, just set up a list of 50 posts from competitors and top performers. Like I said before, study what hooks are they using, what topics, what formats. That's your overall research phase. Study this. It's very important. This is what will teach you the skill of creating social media content that works. Now, when you put your first post out, don't be immediately upset if it don't perform. That's okay. Look, social media is a massive testing game. You might find a great hook that works, but it won't make your video take off until you change maybe even a single keyword in the hook. For example, with one of my clients, we tested 2 variations of the same hook. Hook variation 1 had its own keyword that targeted their audience, and hook variation 2 had a different keyword. Hook variation 2 would get hundreds of thousands of views, even millions for some, while hook variation 1 would get 10,000 views or less. And that's because people understand things in their own way. That audience we were targeting understood our hook better with the keyword in variation 2. So it hooked them better, it was more relatable, it made them more curious, and it was just easier for them to understand. And that's what allowed it to take off. So again, testing is super important. You can have a winning video and what's holding you back can be a single keyword or even a change in the angle you record things to make it look more visually appealing. The key is not to give up and to not let your emotions block you from taking action continuously and learning the skill, because this is where most people quit. They post 10 times and see no results and then give up. But if you really want to win, you have to be willing to test 100 variations until you crack the code. Then once you find what works for your brand, the hooks that stop scrolls, the topics your audience cares about, the format that feels natural, you just keep doing it over and over. And that's when views become more predictable instead of random luck. So now let's say you're getting views, you're cracking the code. This is what you guys clicked on the video for: how to turn your views into customers. I'm going to go over my 3 favorite ways to use social media to get conversions. Method 1 is the every follower approach. Every single person who follows you, send them a DM. Not a sales pitch, just an authentic message like, hey, thanks for the follow. The goal is to start a conversation with them and ask what made them hit the follow button, and you just go from there. A lot of people won't respond, and that's okay. It's normal. Everybody doing this process understands there's going to be a lot of people just leaving you unseen. It's part of the process. But the ones who do respond, those are warm leads who actually care about your restaurant. And the hidden beauty of this is now you're talking to real people, the ones who followed you. So this makes you realize you're not just posting for posting. You can get feedback on your content directly from your audience. A lot of times, me included, you'll overthink your content if it's really providing value. And then doing this process helps you realize that what you're creating is really valuable and your audience loves it. Here's some free coaching for you. Don't get into the habit of creating content you think others would like. Create content that you like, that you believe is truly valuable. Obviously, following the social media skills you studied and learned to make your content get reach. But if you get into the habit of creating content you think others would like, you end up not being you and showing yourself or your brand's personality. And not only can your audience sense that, but you'll get burned way quicker doing it like this because it's not you. It's not authentically you. This is an entire other video I can create. So comment authentic if you want me to create another video going deeper on this process alone. Method number 2 is the free lead magnet. Offer something valuable for free in your content. It could be a recipe or a guide, whatever makes sense for your brand. And then when people DM or comment to you asking for it, you give it to them. It's free value that actually helps them, and you also get a conversation starter. So you give them the free thing, then ask a follow-up question like, did you find the resource helpful? Or just talk about like their current struggles maybe that made them want to grab the free thing. The goal is not to be pushy here. You're just talking, you're just conversating. And then the method number 3 is email marketing. You build an email list through your content. It kind of combines with method number 2 because the email list can be the free resource where you provide tons of value every week for everyone inside. Or you can create a simple automation where people drop their email to get a free thing. And then you build your email list from there. Then once you grow that email list, you nurture that list with more value, more stories, and more reasons to visit your place. And then at the end of each email, you can put a simple call to action like, come try our new menu this weekend. And when it comes to scaling, this approach with email is the best because it scales way better than DM. You're talking to hundreds of people at once, and it still feels personal because you're writing it like a real person. So getting views is step 1, but views without a system to turn them into customers is just vanity metrics. The real game is content plus conversation. Post strategically to attract the right people, and use DMs and email to build actual relationships, and that's how you fill tables. If you want to learn my full framework that shows you my exact process I use for my clients, the link's going to be in the description. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and make it a great day. Peace.